everybody. Assalamu alaikum. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button and the notify button so you know when you're getting new episodes. And we just want to grow this project. I thank you in advance. Without further ado, let's get it rolling. The Shout Out Show. Well, assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everybody. This is me, your host, Preacher Moss, the host of the SOS and Shout Out Show. I want to give shouts out for everybody. You know what I love about the Shout Out Show? People come on time, which puts pressure on me, but doesn't put pressure on me. It makes me feel good that people come on time because I always try to make sure that I'm on time in terms of the broadcast, but I'm also on time in terms of information, things I'm about to share. That's number one. As always, we give a shout out to people who are experiencing and coming to the Shout Out Show for the first time. We appreciate you, and we seriously hope that you will enjoy your experience. We're going to give you something worth a while. That's the other thing. Now, for the true, indeed, the people that tune into the Shout Out Show all the time, let me tell you something. I appreciate you. I love you, and I hope I do a good job because I definitely value your time as well. Just like the new people, I value your time as well. So, that said, let's get to the topic today, brothers and sisters. We have one. You already see it up on a banner. A funny Muslim guide to Joe Biden and Donald Trump. A funny Muslim guide to Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Okay, here's the deal, brothers and sisters. I can't say either one of them is going to help us. So if you're black, you're Latino, you're Native American, I can't tell you that either one of them are gonna. I know Trump is not gonna help us, but I don't even think that Biden's in a good position to help us either. I saw something. I don't know who did this broadcast. It was on a messenger, a Facebook messenger. Somebody sent to me, and they actually had Joe Biden actually quoting Hadith. All right, I guess I don't need that. We actually had Joe Biden quoting Hadith about if you see something, injustice, change it with your hand, change it with your tongue, and if that, then let it make an imprint on your heart. And I mean, the only thing that made it bad that he stammered through was that the teleprompter was right there. I'm like, Joe, if you can't get Hadith right and it's just written it's not like it was written in English. I mean, it's not like it was written in Arabic. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't looking at Arabic writing. He wasn't reading, brothers and sisters, right to left. He was reading left to right and couldn't get it right. So I think that in and of itself might be a clue that even if Joe Biden gets elected, I'm saying that I don't know if things are going to really, really turn around. And I'll get to that reason in a minute. We got a couple of counts. Okay, Sister San Diego, thank you for coming on the show. Hope your back is doing well, inshallah. If not, follow the directions, follow the doctor's directions, and hopefully be back on your feet. Here's the deal about Joe Biden. And here's the deal about Donald Trump. And here's the deal about Muslims. Donald Trump and Joe Biden were here long before Muslims, particularly immigrant Muslim brothers and sisters, came to the United States. They were here long before. So we're talking, 65 up to the present moment. They were here long before. These guys are older than original sin. You see what I'm saying? Their blood type is lucky. I'm saying a couple things here because I want you to understand something clear. Let me give a shout out to Layla. Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thank you for coming to the cipher here, but Sister Layla. I'm talking about two of your favorite people, your candidates, Joe Biden and Donald Trump. I'm going to break it down. What's going on, Miss Eleanor? Glad you can make it on the show. I'm glad you got the email. Alhamdulillah. So, here's the deal with Joe Biden and Donald Trump. What you need to do is find somebody, brothers and sisters, find somebody who is 70 years old and older. I'd say 73, 74 years and older, and ask them in 65 or in 60 if they ever heard of a Donald Trump or ever heard of a Joe Biden. Why am I saying this? Because this is a game that's going to be played and Muslims fall prey to it all the time. The funny Muslim guide is we think that if somebody likes us now, it means that they liked us beforehand. Let me say that again. If somebody likes you now, somehow you put it in your mind that they liked you beforehand. That was the whole thing about Black Lives Matter, brothers and sisters. You have people coming on board, Black Lives Matter, whoa, 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 pump the brakes. And Muslims pump the brakes. Just because somebody's paying you a little bit of attention doesn't mean that they like you before. It means they like you now. And if somebody likes me now, brothers and sisters, and I didn't see you back 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago, what that means is you're liking me because you need something. So Muslims cut off the spigot a little bit of this generosity, and we just give our trust to anybody who says a kind word to us or recites a surah or recites a hadith. Remember George Bush? Remember George Bush after 2001? What did he say? Right out of the Quran, the loss of one life is like the loss of all humanity. Well, if I chalked it up after the Iraq War, he killed everybody. So now comes the fun part. Joe Biden and Donald Trump have something that none of us are really dealing with. They have knowledge of forethought. When you get into positions of power, and you get in positions of power and you have money, brothers and sisters, you don't connect with people the way people think you connect with them. That you shook my hand means nothing. That you somehow said my name in a speech means nothing. Obama was your broke president. Let me say that again. Obama was one of your original broke presidents. He wasn't living high on the hog. Special interests had to catch up to him. And because they had to catch up to him, he held on to a lot of idealism, and it didn't change him as much. I mean, it changed because it was in the politics business, but the guy still had integrity. Now, with this particular election, integrity is not an issue, brothers and sisters. Character is not an issue. It only becomes character integrity now because Michelle Obama's speech just the night before last. Now, I want everybody to check this out. I don't have a problem with Joe Biden running for president. But everybody needs to know, it wasn't his first run for president. It's not the first time he stuck his toe in the water to do it. When he ran with Obama, brothers and sisters, you don't want to say it, but he was way older than Obama. Obama was a young president. He was an old VP. Okay? That's number one. Number two is game. Joe Biden and Donald Trump play on the intentionality, the sensitivities of Muslims. Now, I'll be honest with Trump. I don't care for the dude, but he's honest. I know when he comes through the way, he don't care about me. He don't care about you. He don't care about Muslims. He don't really care about white people. He definitely don't care about black people. He doesn't even mention Native Americans. Okay, gay, lesbian, y'all don't even get a shout out from this guy. He don't care. So give it to him. He's consistent. Now, in that consistency is the fact that we sit around thinking that he's going to change. Muslims, I'm telling you something, I said this before. The people that are the most forgiving are the people that have forgotten first. I'm going to tell you that right now. You cannot keep forgiving people. Forgive them once for what they did, but still hold them accountable. Still hold them accountable. Now, what I'm going to say may upset some folks. But Joe Biden, in some regards, has not been held accountable. Now, you're going to preach where you're going to go with this. There was a situation, a scenario several years ago that as a young man, as I watched it, it hurt my spirit. When I say it hurt my spirit, it meant that I was looking at a situation where there was evidence, there was a voice, there was an imperative that somebody be protected, and Joe Biden didn't do it. He sold somebody out. Now you're going, Joe, you preach, Trump sells out everybody. Yes, he does. He does sell out everybody. But here's the deal. He sold out somebody but he sold out somebody who went out on a heroic effort, and he sold that person out. The person I'm talking about, brothers and sisters, is Miss Anita Hill. Now, long time ago, there was a judge named Clarence Hill. Clarence Hill was chosen by the first George Bush to, quote unquote, be a Supreme Court nominee. Now, he wasn't a popular nominee. He was conservative. He started out kind of radical black, went to conservative black. I mean, we all saw this. You know, it is what it is. It is the metamorphosis of the half-filled Negro going to a full-out house Negro. I'll leave it at that. And for the Bush administration, it solved two things that, Thurgood Marshall was leaving. I'm going to give you a black person. Here's one you're absolutely going to hate, and you do that. Okay, cool. That's number one. Number two is this right here. He asked Anita Hill to come out and stand on her virtues. That's number one. Number two, go out in front of this congressional committee or Senate committee, which one it ever was, and talk about the harassment issue. And they left her out to dry. You know why? Because he didn't call any other corroborating witnesses in that case. And the case tanked. And that lady was left out to dry, almost like a pariah. I think she's at Brandeis University still teaching, but she's a footnote of something that should have been gone a totally different way. Now, I have to address this. This is my cousin. Hey, I need to find out. This is how black folk do stuff. Look, I haven't gotten my candle yet. I asked you a question about, do you get the money for the candle, or does the candle kind of get it? We'll talk after it. I'll text me your information. Sorry, folks, that's how we do it. So yeah, I'm sorry, Sister. I'm talking about Clarence Thomas. Yes. So here's the deal. Just recently, Joe Biden asked for forgiveness for what happened to Anita Hill. He said he felt bad. Okay, we can all feel bad. But my problem was, why didn't you feel bad when it happened? Why didn't you reach out when it happened? You know what? When Joe Biden was being selected to be the vice president of the VP, he didn't step out and go, hey, before you make me VP, there's this woman that I wronged as a political official, as a politician. I wronged this lady. I need to apologize to her before I can become VP. His apology really only comes now in 2019 when he has a shot to become the president. Now, people go, preach, how is this a funny Muslim moment? I'm saying this because you could be next. You could be next. Because Muslims and non-Muslims in this whole political cycle right now, a lot of us are, what's the word I'm looking for, Sultana? A lot of us are acting like we are halal dope sick. That's what I'm saying. We're like halal dope sick. When I say halal dope sick, it's like we act like the environment has just been so much on us that, oh my gosh, I need time to get my mind right. I need time to withdraw. And we're not those people, though. Number one, we're not supposed to be dope sick. Number two, we're supposed to support one another. Number three, there is a situation and an imperative that all of us tie into. And it bothers me that I watch Mr. Joe Biden talk about hadith. How are you going to talk about hadith? You're not going to talk about this woman that you're wrong. That's a hadith. Now, the thing about Trump, brothers and sisters, is if he loses, I'm going to tell you that this man most likely will not leave the White House. I'm talking about probably barricading himself in. He'll have the National Guard surrounding, because, folks, understand, after he leaves the White House, he has no value. Nobody's going to be around this guy. He's like, what's the word? He's like the fart in a closed room. That's his nature. He's an absolute pariah. When he is not the president, brothers and sisters, I worry that he might need to be on suicide watch, because he still has it in his mind that he's the most powerful person in the world when he's actually the most inaccurate. the most dishonest, the most fictitious. And I think also his crowd will go away. His crowd will go away. Like they're doing now. Let me give some shout outs. Brother Justin, this brother has a film out. Brother, can you give me the name of the film about prison reentry? It's won awards and things like that. I just want to shout it out if you don't mind. But I have to get back to the thing. But shout it out in a chat. That's right. He's toxic. But I'm looking for another word that's more than toxic, because it's toxic and then it's stupidity. There's stupidity and then it's toxic, and then it's like, you know what? I just don't care. And we have gotten to the point where, I'll say it again, there we go. The Honest Struggle, brothers and sisters. Check that out. It's on Amazon Prime. This is a prime example of somebody going out and doing the work. I'm going to give a shout out to Brother Justin as a director and a creative. He paints this amazing story of a brother coming out, a reentry citizen after he's done some time in prison. And his clarity is interesting. And it's interesting that Justin comes on the show because it's so much about clarity. When you're talking about presidency, man, the last 4 years has been for many people a haze. You know, in some regards, coronavirus actually woke people up. Like we were just sleepwalking. Like they just released this information about Donald Trump and the Russian investigation, which goes far beyond what Robert Mueller gave. And it basically says, yo, you did it. You did it. You interfered. You let the Russians come in. You're not smart. They tricked you. They hoodwinked you. They flim-flammed you. I mean, they took advantage of this guy to a point now where if he even says the word Russian, he breaks out in a cold sweat. And why am I saying this? Why am I saying this? Because we're still walking around, brothers and sisters, like we're dope sick, and there's no response to this. A lot of us, like, it's fatigue now. Now you have two guys who are working on fatigue. So the funny Muslim guide to Joe Biden and Donald Trump is both candidates have been extremely successful running out the clock on their careers. Extremely successful running out the clock on their careers. Now let me kick a little science for you. Because Muslims, we have politicians, we have Congress people, Congresswomen. We've had Keith Ellison, we've had Rashida Tlaib, we had Ilhan Omar, we had all those people, smart people, articulate people. But you weren't there before 65. You weren't there before 70. You weren't there before. You're 2,000 candidates, and I appreciate you running. But here's the deal. When you come into Congress, they're not going to tell you how everything else looked. And if you dare to go in and take a look at everything, what's going to happen is they're going to attack you, because everything about Congress and politics these days has to be forward looking, not forward thinking, forward looking. When I say, see how this looks like? It looks like blinders. It has to be blinders. You have to look at it in terms of blinders. That's how you engage it. Now, when I say engaging it like this, what I mean is, for lack of a better word, you don't ask questions. You don't look at history. I did a show about John Lewis passing away. And John Lewis, to me, is the guy, in many regards, that kept Joe Biden in check. He was the guy, in many regards, brothers and sisters, he kept Donald Trump in check. Because his history of action tells you that whatever these guys are going to say, he was there before them. See, you can say, I love somebody, I support these people, because the people you're going to have around you, they're the now people. Nobody wants the past people. We like the now people, because the now people are malleable. You know, that's why there's always a fight for the young vote, because the young vote is an uneducated vote. And I'm going to ask Muslims this particular election, don't be an uneducated voter. Don't be an uneducated voter. Funny thing about this election for Muslims is that you're going to have to vote. Listen to me carefully. You're going to have to vote your intentions for your community, not your individual interests, for your community. That's the Muslim bloc vote. You're going to have to say our masses do X, Y, and Z. You have to say our children have a quality of life of X, Y, and Z. You're going to have to say, you know what, we want opportunities X, Y, and Z. And you have to stand up like everybody else and stop getting all these other movements, because those are not your movements. This is the prime time to get up right now, whatever organization you have, whatever beef you have with other nonprofits, political action committees, quote unquote, in the Muslim community. You need to stand up now and go, hey, listen, all BS aside, we need to stand and tell these folks what we want. And if we can't get it, then we're not going to give them what they want. Because, like I said, we're halal dope sick. We'll give them whatever. Somebody gives us a little something so we feel better. But you're still dope sick. You're not getting to the crux of the problem. What did Joe Biden say? The first day one I get into the presidency, if I get into the presidency, I'm going to repeal the Muslim ban. Really? Okay, Joe. Where was you when the Muslim ban first happened? I looked at all the posts. See, I have time now. Alhamdulillah. Thank you, COVID. I have time now. So now I look and I say, where was Joe Biden what was Joe Biden talking about when the Muslim ban coming in? That's it. And Trump, you know, I don't want to sound bad. I don't want to sound mean-spirited. But everybody knows Trump is a kid in elementary school that got beat up a lot. And in middle school, he got beat up a lot and they put him in his locker. Never have you engaged a man that is so insecure. And now you have people who are afraid to talk to the insecure person. We keep feeding the monster. Keep feeding the monster. But everybody tells you, you know what? You can only feed the monster for so much. And after that point in time, the monster's got to go. Literally. He's played the clock out on this election. He's cheated. He's lied. He's finagled. It's to the point now, I'm not surprised. And I'm going to say this because even I have the danger of becoming halal dope sick that I'm overwhelmed. Well, I'm not overwhelmed. I'm very clear-minded about where we are. So as people go preach for all this wealth, you're going to vote? You doggone right I'm going to vote. I voted the last time. Here's the question. Are you going to vote? And here, not so much just vote. Are you going to vote your intentions? Are you going to vote the intentions of your family and your community? So I am so sick and tired of the halal dope sick Muslims going out here. Oh, we're going to protest because he's Joe Biden. We're going to protest. They did the same thing with Trump. There are Muslims that voted for Trump. I know you. I don't want to call you out. All 7 of you. But my point is, people put their allegiances behind it because basically when you go behind the little curtain or you're in that little booth with the blind and you press the button, nobody knows. Okay? Nobody knows. That's why when Trump won, he had a bunch of white women that voted for him. You know why? Because they're married to a bunch of white men. So, with that being said, brothers and sisters, as I try to find a nice dismount, a summary, if you will, here's what you should know about this election. Donald Trump, Joe Biden, doesn't matter if they're Democrat or Republican, they're really, really old white men. Let me say that again. They're really, really old white men. And I'm going to tell you about something about old white men. They die old white men. So stop thinking that all of a sudden they're going to stop being old white men. It's in their DNA. It's in their DNA. Power trumps justice all the time. So somebody be going, well, where are we going to end with this preach? Well, the last election, people didn't like Hillary. I didn't like Hillary. Let's be honest. I said that because I'm honest. And somebody said neither one of them are great. Yes, Monarch, none of them are great. But you know who is great? You know who's great? Me. I'm great. I'm going to make great decisions. And I'm going to implore all of y'all to make great decisions. So if Trump has to go, fine. He's got to go. But if you're going to put Biden in there, doggone it, you don't walk him in there. You might walk him up to the door and say, sir, before you come into this house, let me give you the rules. Stop being house Muslims, house Negroes, house crackers. Stop. Somebody said, preacher for 2020. Yeah, vote for me. Me and Kanye West. It'll be a tie. But on a serious tip, brothers and sisters, on a serious tip, neither one of these candidates is great. Okay? Joe Biden, I don't know him. He seems like a nice guy. But you know what? I had the feeling of all 8 years that Obama's in office, if there was a chance for Joe to put a stick, put a knife in Obama's back, he would have and gotten away with it. If Trump was Obama's VP, he'd have done it. And for Trump, listen, brother, I know why you don't want to leave the house. I get it. You know why? Because thousands of people are not waiting for you to not be president. I honestly feel that the limousine or the helicopter that's going to go from the White House is probably going to have a gin in it going, hey, man, your time is up. If he doesn't come before the election. Now, okay, I got to go. I got things to do. My cousin, Donald, call me or give me some information about this candle. See how you got to talk to family, man. I'll buy the candle, but he didn't answer my question. So here you go. Right? Wait, something's going to happen to him? Yeah. When he unplugs from that system, not having that power and not having the sway. See, the only reason people listen to Donald Trump is because he has the power of the law. That's it. I mean, I got in a fight with a guy in college, and he said a bunch of stuff. He started a fight, and he took a swing at me. He missed. Now, of course, once you miss, it's time for me to take my swing. You know what he said? You can hit me, but you're gonna break the law. It's a street fight, fool. Of course I punch him in the mouth. You know why? Because I live by street law. Okay, so here we go. Sister Leda has the last word. We must vote Trump out. You know what, sister? You're right. But we must vote rational thought in, common sense in, morality in, reason in, spirituality in, our children in. We got to vote in all those things outside of that. So listen, I got to go because I have things to do, and you do too if I'm just reminding you of such. So I hope you enjoyed this. We're going to carry on with this throughout the rest of the week. I'm not going to do too much politics. I actually have some fun stuff I want to talk about because politics to me is not politics, it's politics. You've heard me say that before. So listen, everybody, have an amazing day, number one, and we will see you soon. Who's this? Who's this right here? Somebody actually came up. Yes, Layla, I'm giving you. There you go. Thank you, Layla. That's our last word from the day. And I want everybody, thank you for coming on the show. To my cousin Don, can you get me the information, please? So your relatives be coming on the show, man. He didn't even say hi. No, that's my cousin. All right, everybody, stay blessed. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hey everybody, this is your brother Preacher Moss. Listen, I hope that you enjoyed your Shout Out Show experience. We'll be back with the next show, the next Shout Out Show. Simple ask before you go, please help your brother out. Click that subscribe button, click that notify button, and I'll see you again on this side of the microphone. You probably wonder what that smell is. That's me. I smell good. And the reason I smell good is because I use oils from ShOUT. So I'm not saying you can't smell good. I'm not even saying you stink. I'm saying you have the opportunity to smell exquisite. Check out ShOUT.com for some of the best oils and scents in town.